All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Imbriano, the Fullerton Informer, coming to you live from the streets of Orange County, California, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to tell you that I am really upset right now. That's right. You know, I got more people coming to me, folks, telling me, hey, Joe, the 5G apocalypse is coming, right? That's right. Yeah, they've got this this new fear porn movie out by these operatives, right? That's right. I'm sure you've all seen the 5G apocalypse, right? You know, it never ceases to amaze me just how stupid the people that think we're stupid really are. Because did it ever occur to these people that think we're stupid that they're stupider than we are for believing the stupid crap that they think we're stupid enough to believe? Well, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to the point where the stupidity is beyond stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, 5G is a big problem. 5G is a massive threat to national security, and it is a massive threat to public health. But ladies and gentlemen, 5G is a paper tiger, because millimeter waves couldn't even go through your bathroom door that was half open, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You see, they don't penetrate materials at all, and they certainly don't travel very far. And this 5G space appeal thing is the biggest bunch of BS I've ever seen in my life. And all the scientists that have signed on to this thing are immediately 100% suspect, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You'll notice that groups like the Environmental Health Trust and all of the operatives they've got playing their fiddle for them are all trying to freak you out and make you think that they're going to put 5G all over the quote-unquote globe, even though that's not what we live on. Ladies and gentlemen, 5G will never make it to the rural areas. It's economically impossible to put microcells all over the continental United States. And for people to think that they have the capability to transmit millimeter waves from space, from satellites with battery chargers and solar panels on them, are you kidding me, folks? You think, like I said, that the millimeter waves, they can't pass through leaves or half-open doors or windows with low-E Mylar film on them. Did you know that the UV tint blocks the 5G? Did you know that, folks? Did you know that the ultraviolet tinting on your windows blocks the 5G? 5G is a big problem if you're stupid enough to bring in the 60 gigahertz WIKIJOE router into your house as a relay system for the thing that you're going to have to stick on your antenna outside. I'm not downplaying 5G, folks. What I'm telling you is that we can win this thing, and we don't need their surveillance matrix kill grid. They're only going to deploy it in the dense urban areas where they've cut all the trees down, and they've got these things every 100 or 200 feet bouncing off the buildings, right? They want you in a walled prison. Most of you already live in one, and it's surrounded by Black Mirror television screens, right? Because you live in the world called Black Mirror. Everything's lit up with these weird colors, and you've got these monitors and screens everywhere. Heck, I know people that got freaking televisions in their bathroom, right? I'm not kidding you, ladies and gentlemen. That's how far gone some people are. They actually got televisions in their bathroom. You can't even take a dump without them telling you how to do it. I mean, come on, right? Well, anyway, this movie with the 5G apocalypse is a bunch of bullshit, all right? And so is the EMF space appeal, right? I'm sick of it. These guys are trying to freak you out. They're, you know, the algorithms push these fear porn videos around, suppressing the legitimate stuff. Millimeter waves do not penetrate materials, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't care if it's your negligee or if it's a lead paint on the windowsill. They cannot get you unless you let them. Now, of course, you don't want to live in a dense urban area, ladies and gentlemen, because after all, they know how to make the 5G bounce off the buildings, right? I told you that story about when I was a kid. We used to close all the doors in the hall, right, and take that Super Ball and bounce it all over the place, right? And my kids do the same thing. We got these wood floors at the house, and you know, they close all the doors in the hall, and they would throw this Super Ball as hard as they could, and it was this glow-in-the-dark Super Ball, and they shut the light off, right? And this thing would just be bouncing all over the place, up and down and sideways and backwards and forwards, and you name it, right? Well, that's what they're going to do in the dense urban areas with the millimeter waves. But they're not going to do that out in the countryside, because it doesn't work. 5G is not going to end up getting deployed in the rural areas, folks. You see, the people that put out this absolute nonsense about how they're going to get us from space with this stuff are operatives, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, the queen of fear porn is usually the one they play at the beginning of the movie, right? Oh, yes, you know. Oh, yeah, it's going to cook your eyes like a couple of eggs, right? Millimeter waves don't cook, folks. They don't cook. Microwaves do. Now, they can affect your nervous system and make you feel the burn. But millimeter waves aren't going to cook your eyes like eggs. Yeah, they're going to destroy your vision eventually, but they don't cook your eyes like eggs. Let's be realistic here, folks. They're not going to get us from space. They don't have the technology to broadcast millimeter waves from a balloon up at 50,000 feet straight to the ground. It won't go through the clouds, the chemtrails, and the bong smoke, or the trans fats burning off of the Betty Crocker in the oven that makes all that stuff that drifts up into the air, right? You get my drift? I'm sick of it, ladies and gentlemen, and you should be too. I mean, why is it that everybody seems to be afraid of the boogeyman, right? Look, this is real simple. Don't live in the cities. And by the way, you know, the millimeter waves that they're going to be putting everywhere in the cities, if you must live in the cities, did you know that most clothing will block millimeter waves? Did you know that? Did you know that, folks? And also, if the millimeter waves can't go through the UV tint on your windows, what makes you think they're going to go through your glasses that you're wearing to protect your eyes, right? It's amazing. It's amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing to me. And, you know, I look back, Bono's always worn those yellow glasses, right? He's always known about the blue light. He's always known about it. When they decided to, you know, I'll never forget, it was 1984, and it was a summer afternoon. I just finished high school, and we were up in the Hollywood Hills at the dam, overlooking the hills there. A buddy of mine and I, we were just hanging out, right? I won't say what else we were doing. All right, we were having a couple of cold ones, right? And we were waiting for a concert, and the group was called The Alarm, right? This was in the early 80s, and this group had a better sound than U2, a better guitar than U2, better vocals than U2, and more morals than U2 because they were Christian. But they chose to promote Bono his darkness. The Alarm was the band that should have been the band of the 80s, folks. But the problem was they were Christian, right? And so that's a problem. So, you know, Bono, now Mr. New World Order, Luciferian, you know, piece of work that he is, on the wrong side of everything that has a side to be on, he has become, you know, the one who spoke for our generation, right? He says he still hasn't found what he's looking for. He's held the hand of the devil and, you know, all the rest of this stuff. He admits it, you know. And he's felt the fire from his fingertips. I bet he has, right? But he's never felt the Holy Spirit, folks. But the point is, he's always worn those glasses. He knows about the blue light, right? But they make the Fortnite for our young children, right, to get addicted to it and screw with it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all being conned, okay? And the biggest con job right now is the 5G fraudster fear porn producers. And I think their office is in Chatsworth with all the rest of the porn producers, right? Look, this is unbelievable. I cannot believe how factually inaccurate the lies these people are putting out are. And how people are just like, oh my gosh, what do we do? I cannot tell you how many people have come to me and said, Joe, there's no escape. They're gonna get us from space. I said, the only thing they're gonna get you from space with is in your dreams, right? And I'm not talking about a Debbie Gibson song either. I'm talking about the lies of these operatives that are trying to get your eyes off the ball. Here's the deal, folks. 50 to 60 to 70 to 80% of this agenda aimed at harming you, aimed at eating up all the oxygen in your house with the 60 gigahertz WIKIJOE systems, cannot work unless you bring it in. There's nothing like a Cat 5 Ethernet cable that solves all the problems, right? Plug it in! Plug it in! Heck, you plug in your phone charger all the time to the wall. Stick your freaking computer into the wall, right? Get yourself an Ethernet port. Get yourself a USB adapter for that infertility pad, right? There's ways. In the meantime, in the dense urban areas where they're cutting down all the trees and hanging all this black cable all over the place, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. I'm telling you why, because Santa Claus is coming to town and they're going to be putting these weapons in your backyard. But see, you know, people like NASA Tavares and the Space Appeal group want you to think that they're going to fry you from space and they're going to fry your eyeballs like an egg, right? Meantime, they're not talking about the thing you got to bring, the little dealio, the thingamajobber, the chingadera that you got to bring into your house to make all this Internet of Things work inside your house, right? And don't give me this crap. Oh, you have to have the millimeter wave system in your house. No, you don't. Let me ask you a question. Are they gonna make toasters illegal? Are they gonna make refrigerators illegal that don't hook up to the internet? Are you kidding me? Are they gonna make electricity illegal unless it's delivered through a Wi-Fi router? No! You could still plug an old appliance into the wall. You don't have to have this new crap. Why is it that the lies and more lies deserve more lies, and the stupid people that think we're stupid are stupid enough to think that we're stupid enough to believe what the stupid people think we're stupid enough not to understand? This is ridiculous. You know why I'm upset? It's because every time I turn around, there's more BS, more fear porn, more lies, more disinformation, more spin from the controlled opposition. And I'll be honest with you, it's a joke. It's a joke. Look, folks, I'm going to repeat this once again. There is no 5G from space, okay? First of all, there's nothing floating around up there except balloons and airplanes, okay? There is nothing up there in orbit. There's nothing 65,000 miles up except the ceiling, folks. Now, have they hung some things from the dome? Perhaps. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that's a feat that's even possible, even with all the technology they claim they have. That's right. So, millimeter waves do not penetrate materials at all. and they don't travel very far. Therefore, how is it even possible to logically think that some piece of junk, imaginary piece of junk that's been drawn up on a cartoonist board, has the ability to transmit 100,000 miles through the chemtrails and the smog and the oxides of nitrogen and the CO2 and, oh, let's not forget the water vapor, shall we? Or the oxygen molecules, shall we? Or the bong smoke that's coming up in epic proportions over Southern California, shall we? How is the millimeter wave signal supposed to penetrate all of the aforementioned? It's not, and it's not going to, because it can't. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. What the millimeter waves can do is going to be a mess if you do not listen to what I'm telling you. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, you bring the weapons into your house, then guess what? Then you get it. Then you get it, folks. Are you listening to me? Do you guys hear me? Yeah, we're waking up at the scene of the crime. That's exactly what's going on. We are literally living at the scene of the crime, and we're waking up. They're wanting us to lay down. Let me tell you about this 5G space appeal baloney. Everybody involved in that will not, or they're also the same crowd that's involved in the other aspects of cellular radiation, right? And they won't talk about the infertility being caused in the schools by the use of the technology and the effects on the eggs. They never talk about that. You guys see this? P.O. Box 4121, Fullerton, California, 92834. That's me, Joe Imbriano, the Fullerton Informer, folks. By the way, did you see how those high school kids were reacting towards being dosed with the truth the other day when I did that video on what went down at this high school in my neighborhood? It's pretty disgusting, isn't it? It's disgusting. Excuse me. Just a little aside right now. Apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper, quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 2 Meyer lemons juiced, a half a Eureka lemon juiced, a couple of ice cubes, about a quarter teaspoon of sea salt, and a really small pinch of coral calcium, ground up coral from Japan. This is before Fukushima, of course. And a few other things in there. I even put a little bit of stevia powder just to take the edge off. And that was after my 4 drops of iodine and a half a glass of water this morning, folks. By the way, you need to wake up, all right? You need to wake up and understand that you're being lied to and you're being freaked out so they can have their way with you, folks. All right? This whole 5G apocalypse is a bunch of BS, ladies and gentlemen, because here's the deal. All the weapons are going to be at eye level, within arm's reach. The millimeter waves do not penetrate materials and they don't travel far. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? So why are you thinking that there's no escape? Don't buy one of these stupid 5G cars. Keep your old cars. Hey, I'm in California, right? And I drive around. Everybody's got these leased plastic cars that cost like $75,000. And these women, they get out of the cars with these manicures that cost more than my shoes, my shirt, my ties, my belt, and my underwear. All right? All right, and then they got these purses, right? They cost almost as much as I paid for this old BMW, right? That's right. Oh yeah, by the way, I changed my own oil. How about them apples, right? You see, folks, you don't need to have all these newfangled contraptions just because you're too insecure to show up at the grocery store in a car that's got 100,000 miles on it, right? And it doesn't have an automatic ding-dong opener that's connected to Wi-Fi, right? freaking joke, right? In the meantime, everybody's going to be driving around with military-grade weaponry emanating out of their car because they got the weaponized 6,500 Kelvin blue-white lights for your vision displeasure at night, right? Did you see these Teslas that everybody's driving? Pieces of crap! Overpriced death traps full of radiation, right? You know, there's sensors all over. Eliminated, the light's horrible. The Wi-Fi is like, it's got like 3 signals in it and like 100 sensors in the thing, and then they're sitting on a freaking transformer, right? A weapon being driven by weaponized idiots. Folks, just stick with the facts, stick with the simple stuff. How many of you out there know how to chop wood? How many of you out there know how to skin a rabbit? How many of you out there know how to filter water? I mean, you could go to Home Depot and get a paint sock, right? And you know, the cheesecloth at Home Depot, you can get that in a bucket and some charcoal, right? And wrap it up and stick it in a pillowcase and filter your water through that if you folks. You know, we got these metrosexual men that think they're Shakespeare. They're putting Clinique on their face as they drive around in their electric chairs, right? Unbelievable! And their kids got 3 left feet and their wives can't get out of the frosting pile, right? And in the meantime, we're all being blue lighted to death by their headlights in the idiot box big screens, and we're being told that there's a 5G apocalypse. And that there's... You know what an apocalypse is, folks? It's a nightmare. You know what? Guess what a nightmare is? It's something we can wake up from, folks. We don't have to stay asleep and live in this nightmare. All we got to do is not bring in the WIGIG routers into our house. We don't have to buy a car that's got 60 gigahertz WIGIG in it. We don't have to have the Internet of Things. Why do we have to buy smart appliances? You know, I was at Costco with my wife the other day, and I was looking at the refrigerators. They all got, it's amazing. Okay, she's like, oh, look at this, Joe. You know, someday we might want to get a new one. I'm like, someday is never going to happen, sweetheart, because I'm going to keep digging the ones out of the trash and putting new compressors in them, because I'm not going to put a bomb in my kitchen where they use propane as the propellant, right? They got this refrigerant in these things that's flammable. Why would you want to hook up your propane canister on your barbecue to a compressor and expand it and compress it and expand it with electric motor? And can you imagine what they can blow up, right? So they got these smart refrigerators. So she said, hey, look at this one. I'm like, okay, I want to see what kind of refrigerant it is, right? So I open the thing up in the freezer. I want to look at the label. I want to see where it's made, what the power, you know, consumption is, and what the refrigerant is, right? And it's got this blue light inside it, and I opened the door and I couldn't even freaking read the print. And I got 20/20 vision, folks, but the lighting was so bad inside this refrigerator that I couldn't even read the print. And then I couldn't see the refrigerator because it's hidden behind the ice maker thing. I tried to pull that out, and then lo and behold, it's a flammable refrigerant inside this Wi-Fi refrigerator. What a piece of crap! You don't need that garbage! Okay, so you're going to hook up a propane freezer or refrigerator to your smart meter, right? Oh, so they can send a signal through and blow the thing up? Are you kidding me? You want to bring a bomb into your house? Go ahead. Oh, but I bet you ladies, you love that blue light and how the thing will talk to you. Now it's got an iPad on the door, huh? Who needs a freaking iPad on the door of the freezer, folks? You know what? I go to the freezer for a steak, for a piece of fish, and an ice cube. I don't need to be playing Minecraft on the freezer door, folks. You guys are nuts. And then they got these things that are listening to you and photographing you. Here's the deal, folks. The whole 5G system, I'm going to break it down for you. It serves several purposes. The first purpose is to make us sick and make us weak and kill us off eventually, because they're going to use frequencies that destroy our vitamin D production, because it destroys our vitamin D production capability of our skin. It destroys our eyes, and it destroys our health, folks. And there's all kinds of other things it does in terms of physical effects. So it's a health hazard, and they know it. And that's why they want to roll it out. They want to cram us into these densely compact cities. But all the weapons are going to be on the ground. Now, the second part of this is they're going after the air we breathe, right? Because they're going to use WIGIG, which is the new Wi-Fi systems compatible with the Internet of Things. It's going to use a 60 gigahertz transmission frequency, which happens to be the absorption spectrum of oxygen molecules. It's going to mess up the air we breathe. Won't be able to bind it to the hemoglobin, right? And, of course, the goal there is to just make us all more zombified than we are, so we'll just suck our thumbs and suck our lollipops and microwave those Hot Pockets and watch all the crap on TV and merge with the what's the name of that movie that was out, Avatar or whatever it was, and we all go into our virtual reality headsets and sit on the couch and turn into a lap band patient, right? That's what they want. So then you get into the bloodstreams and dope you up on the Rockefeller pills, right? That's what they want. No, so okay. The next thing they want to do is when they put all these LED street lights and lights and LED light bulbs everywhere, they're going to be able to use those things as cameras, folks. Okay? You know, the black body reading capabilities of these things is incredible, right? So they're going to be able to, it's going to be like Logan's Run. We have a runner outside gate 5. He's left the perimeter of the compound. So they can scan everywhere around the Hunger Games prison, right? That's what they're going to know who everybody is, where everybody is, what everybody's doing at all times, listening, watching, recording all of your keystrokes and your texts and everything else. That's just, it's a total surveillance grid, right? Now, another thing they're going to do with this is they're going to tie everybody's appliances and computers and controls to all the electronics into this thing so they can remote control it overseas and wage cyber warfare against the United States, and then they can blame it on the boogeyman, and then they can send all our 18-year-olds overseas with an MP5 and a backpack and start killing all these guys in countries that ain't going to know what hit them, right? That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do, folks. Surveillance, privacy invasion, health destruction, and literal just usurpation of our rights, and total treasonous terrorist activities they're going to conduct on American soil by running these cyber attacks once they get everything into this matrix, right? And they want you to think, that you can't escape this. Yes, you can. Don't bring it into your house. Don't let them put it in your backyard. Plant lots of trees. Block the crap. You know what really works great blocking millimeter waves, folks? A mister. You know what a mister is? You know, go to the hardware store and spend $10 and run misters all around your property. If you're in an apartment, run a mister on your patio. Right? And get your hands on as much of that Mylar window tint as you can. And just put that stuff on your walls. Put that stuff on your patio. Put that stuff on your sweater. Wrap yourself in tinfoil, folks. Guess what? Millimeter waves don't penetrate materials. That's why they want the ghost in the machine so they can bring down the house. That's right, connect all of the Fade Up Against Your Will songs from the early 80s and Richard Blade and the Poor Man, right? They want you to roll over and play dead in this latest fear porn with this cast of clowns, cast of characters that has been put out by that group. Yes, you guessed it, that group again, folks, that special group, right? The group that keeps on giving, that is never forgiving, right? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm calling them out. We're on to their crap, and that's it. I'm done. They're full of crap. The victory's ours. We're going to win this thing. 5G is never going to make it into rural areas because it's not feasible. It's not physically possible to have a communication system in a rural area that functions on millimeter waves. Simply not going to happen. Now, when we get back to the technology they are going to use, which is the current stuff they're using right now, they're going to turn the power up. Well, guess what? You know what blocks a cell phone signal? Aluminum porch screens, folks. You want to build a nice house that's pretty much RF free? Get yourself a nice couple layers of aluminum screen and staple it to your drywall, and then ground it and stick it in the outlet and be done with it, and have yourself a glass of Johnny Walker Green Label, right? I don't know, whatever your forte is. I don't advocate that often, but once you pull an accomplishment like that off, you deserve to pour yourself one, okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, I am sick of this. I'm sick of being lied to. I'm sick of having my insulted to my intelligentsia, right? Everything Everything's alive, folks. And I gotta go, because you know what? Duty calls. I got somebody who wants me right now. And that's my handler, ladies and gentlemen. That's my wife. God bless all you guys. I'll be talking to you on the flip side. Don't take any wooden nickels, okay?